Big matchup. I think that it needs to be watched and alerted to. And everybody's focusing Burrow and Stafford and these wide receiving cores and these offenses and everything that they do. Then you look at the defensive line for the Rams and their off and the offensive line for the Bengals. It's going to obviously be very important. But one of the more underrated matchups that I think that you're going to see is the Cincinnati Bengals secondary against this passing attack of the Los Angeles Rams. Now they want to run the ball. They want to get some play action going, but you see the deep shots that Stafford makes to Cup, to Jefferson, to OBJ, and how effective he has been. It's been like a different offense with him than it was with Jared Goff. Stafford is really stinking good, and his birthday's on Monday. So a happy birthday to Matt Stafford. I hope that he plays great in the Super Bowl. It's going to be torn for this game, watching the Bengals and the Rams, having rooting interest on both sides fairly significantly, and just wanting to see my friends play well and do well. But this Cincinnati Bengals secondary, got Awuzie, you've got Apple at the corners, who have both been very underrated this year with how well they've played. You've got Von Bell, you've got Bates, your two safeties. Bates probably hasn't had the greatest year, a little bit under contract dispute heading into the season, wants the long-term deal, but him and Bell have been really good in the playoffs, really good. And all you got to do is look at the tandem of those guys being able to shut down the deep pass in overtime to Tyreek Hill. Like that kind of answers it for you right there with how good they've been here over this last stretch of 4, 5, 6 games, really kind of dating back to that Kansas City game at the end of the regular season, week 17, the second to last game. And so what they're going to be able to do to the likes of Beckham, Cup, Jefferson, Cup's going to be in the slot a lot. It's going to be important for them to bracket him over under. One of the guys is going to have to take OBJ on his own a lot, and whether that's Apple or Awuzie. Curious if they run one of these guys. But this is going to be one of the sneaky matchups to watch, is this secondary, which has been, like I said, very underrated against these 3 wide receivers who, they don't maybe get the talk of Cincinnati's wide receivers, but man, they've been good. Odell has blended in really nicely into this system. They've done a great job getting him the ball in space, some routes. And Stafford, the thing that makes him good with Beckham is Beckham has a lot of improv in his routes. You look at Cooper Kupp, he runs unbelievable routes. They're to the book. He doesn't tip anything. Beckham, there's a lot of wiggle in it, and he's leaning, and it's a feel thing, and he gets open, but it may not always be right at the same time as you practice it. But Stafford has a strong enough arm, and he has the accuracy to kind of hang on it a little more. And that's the thing that Baker kind of struggled with, being able to sit there and see it and get it there quite the way that Stafford does. So Stafford's been hanging on it, and they've been good, and they've had a pretty solid rapport throughout the playoffs. And so can those guys slow him down? Eli Apple, you saw by his tweets after the AFC Championship, going at the Kansas City Chiefs and their offensive receiving core and their talented group of players led by Tyreek Hill. I mean, he's real chesty right now. Real chesty. Will he still be that chesty on Sunday night at about 11 o'clock?